watching a little tiny man like Charlie Sykes.
Donald Trump saving kittens in America from angry black men.
Over there trying to brainwash all of their viewers. Now, we don't watch MSNBC uncritically like many in their audience do.
Well, you know, a lot of what we saw with Donald Trump, you know, the bitterness, the angry, the fabulism is familiar to those of us who've watched Donald Trump over the last 8 years.
Okay, that's Charlie Sykes at MSNBC, wrong about everything, especially his take on Donald Trump. They're trying to jump on Donald Trump's debate performance again, where he raised his voice and looked angry. They're like, that's a loss. That's a big loss. It's not. It's a huge win. People feel comfortable when dad gets mad and there's a bad guy breaking into the house. That could be against Putin or Kim Jong-un. You want strength against it. You don't want to send human resources after Putin, and that's Kamala Harris's human resources. Trump is sending angry dad.
This may have come as a revelation or a reminder to tens of millions of people who were tuning in and go, oh my gosh, who is this angry old man yelling at the clouds here? Charlie
Sykes is a wussy. There's no difference between them and most old ladies.
And as you point out, Kamala Harris is an unknown factor for many voters, and she put on a really extraordinary performance.
That's not a compliment. That she's an unknown factor, and he's hoping and praying that she can put on an extraordinary performance, because it's going to take an extraordinary performance to cover up who she really is. That's an admittance that they're lying to you about Kamala Harris. Whatever you liked about her, it doesn't even exist for more than 1 week of prep time.
Not just discipline. I mean, look, she also won that split screen in a rather dramatic fashion. I think that's perhaps a little bit underappreciated.
Oh yeah. Let's look at that split screen. There's Trump on the left. There's Kamala Harris on the right. If you're Putin, which one do you want to face?
Donald Trump. I mean, and there's a warning here too. You know, that Donald Trump, as we know, lives in a bubble of delusion.
I can see why Charlie Sykes is an expert at a bubble of delusion. Let's look at the bubble of delusion they put the entire country under for 4 years.
In fact, I think he's better than he's ever been.
President Biden has a photographic memory. His understanding and mastery of a complicated geopolitical situation is remarkable.
He is sharp, intensely probing, and detail-oriented and focused.
Jackie, are you here? Where's Jackie? I didn't think she was going to be here.
I was sitting, 2 feet from him across the table, and he was, intense.
They forget that they put one over the entire American public. They've said the border's secure. Talk about a bubble of delusion. And Charlie Sykes went along with it. They love it. You'll hear him later bring up the big lie, the big lie. No one told more big lies than MSNBC and Charlie Sykes himself. Charlie Sykes himself, who's an old lady in a tie.
But also what he demonstrated was Republicans refused to take the L. They refuse to acknowledge he refuses to acknowledge he's lost. And also
that a man being yelling or even angry during a debate is not a loss. And all these people that is going with the standard default position, they all copy each other. If Kamala can get him to yell, then he loses. And that's not true. Look at what he was yelling about. He said, they ruined the country. They ruined your jobs. They let people into the southern border. It's righteous, appropriate anger. The idea that men can't emote, that's what they're saying. Remember, these are feminists saying men can't emote. Well, Trump emoted. He had real feelings and emotions. And the people that say that men, true, authentic men, can emote, remember, they only want men to emote if they're crying. They don't want them to yell. They're both emotions, guys. And Trump's emotions are honest. And Kamala's coolness and calculated discipline in her newfound discipline and not cackling, that is not honest.
They remain addicted to these fake internet memes even after they have been debunked. They will not let go of the big lie.
You will not let go of our sense of humor, Charlie, like you gave up on your sense of humor many, many decades ago.
And I think that this is not a new pattern for those of us who have followed this, but think of this in the context of the election and the big lie. Donald Trump is creating an alternative reality where he never admits that he loses.
Was sharp as attack. Almost all of these guests said it, including Charlie Sykes, have claimed that Biden was fine. So talk about the illusion of not giving up on a lie.
And no matter how egregious the lie is, no matter how much it has been refuted.
Here's demonstrations of the egregious lie, no matter how many times it's been refuted. MSNBC and mainstream media repeating it.
This version of Biden is the best Biden ever.
She knows so long as she was denied.
They will stick with it. And I think that's kind of extraordinary.
Totally focused. He's very sharp.
They say he's sharp in meetings and so on.
Very lucid, very well informed. Biden is stately and he comes with gravitas. There hasn't been, as far as I know, a single claim that Biden made a mistake.
Ageism is an issue. Americans have a rich history of holding people's physical characteristics against them. Okay, you can ask African Americans.
He's older. That doesn't mean that he is unfit, and there's a lot of ageism there.
Now, this age attack, this obsession by the right.
Joe Biden may not be able to speak for himself the way that he used to.
They want to think to take on government if we get out of line, which they're talking again about, and that's him lying around.
I think people should be speaking up for Joe Biden.
Americans and reporters in the media are just judging him by a physical appearance, and it's horribly unfair. Age is an asset.
He showed exactly how with it he is.
The flip side of this coin is that he has a tremendous amount of wisdom and experience.
Have you heard any concerns from anyone who has met with President Biden about him seeming a little slower?
No.
More wild speculation from a bunch of people who have probably never been in a room with Joe Biden and certainly don't have medical degrees that I'm aware of.
You don't get paid for performance to be president. The job is not a job of endurance. I don't see Donald Trump out bike riding like Joe Biden.
It's the Hillary's email. All they have is that he's old. He can clear a dementia bar, and that's probably a win.
The media are not fair, and they're getting less and less fair, and things are frightening. You have Wall Street Journal running a horribly sourced piece saying that Biden is unfit.
Dubious Wall Street Journal report about the president's acuity.
Shoddy story by the Wall Street Journal questioning Biden's mental fitness.
Wall Street Journal story had a lot of flaws, as you said. But Sinclair, they didn't do any original reporting. They didn't follow up. They didn't do any work.
The hero of today is Hirsch Goldberg Poland, and still, he is not here with us, but he's still being held by Hamas.
But a huge part of the Mueller report talks about Russian disinformation tactics. And one of the themes this election cycle is that Joe Biden is too old to lead. And so everyone is seizing upon this. And it is a classic disinformation tactic.
How deeply online they've gotten, and how even in, and by the way, talk about blatantly racist, the imagery of Donald Trump saving kittens in America from angry black men.
Those are jokes, and I love that Charlie Sykes is so psycho.
Donald Trump saving kittens in America from angry black men.
These people are lying to you, and that's why we're laughing at them. I'm Doug in Exile.
Donald Trump saving kittens in America from angry black men.